to play! This has gone on long enough! The village. Stop this! I'm not here to play! I said, stop! This has gone on long enough! village. Stop this! I'm not here to play! I said, stop! This has gone on long enough! The village. Stop this! eyes on you. Garuda will be proud. was quite a tantrum.
Clive! Where is he? Well, yes. He's adorable.
He is now. But did you see him a few moments ago?
Clive, I don't know how to thank you.
It's all right. We should find him a dry blanket, though. Wouldn't want the little monster catching a cold.
There. He's finally asleep.
The poor thing had a long day.
That makes two of us. So, what happens now?
Now? Now, we make things right.
How?
By providing Walyas what he was denied. A place to learn and grow. A family to love and protect him. So that one day, when the wounds in his heart and mind have finally healed, he might decide for himself how he'd like to live the rest of his life. But until then, I'll stay by his side, come what may.
Then he's a lucky boy. And not only because he'll have the best warrior this side of the belt to teach him the battle axe.
She'll do her best.
Shula. The beast that threatened your home is tamed. The empire that threatened your people toppled. Might it not be time to cast off your ancestors' glamour and retake your place in the Twins?
Perhaps. It's not as if we have the crystals to maintain the wall much longer. But are we truly safe? Is the world truly ready to accept us for who we are and what we believe? If I remember rightly, you and yours still choose to remain hidden, do you not?
We do.
Well, your people will always be welcome in Haven, regardless.
As will yours in the hideaway. We're allies now. If there's anything you need from us, supplies, food, equipment, do not hesitate to ask.
It's kind of you to offer. But we'll manage, just as we always have. Besides, I suspect you'll be needing everything at your disposal if you're going to save the world.
I fear much of it is past saving. The best we can do is strive to turn what's left into a world where we can all live as equals.
A noble endeavor. And there'll be a place in this world for us, will there? For Walyas.
For everyone. I swear it.
Then we shall be waiting. Until the tides bear you back to shore.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Well, yes. Only time will tell. But I can certainly think of worse places to spend one's childhood. The Moats of Water are a fine people, and they will take good care of him.
Up by the Vare, Ultima spoke to me. She called Leviathan his most profaned fragment, and told me to redeem the sins that had laid him low.
Is that so? The sins of Wallius's ancestors were grave indeed. To force him to prime at so tender an age.
And to freeze him in time, that he might never know what it was to live.
Yet I doubt either of those crimes was the source of Ultima's displeasure. It was that the Icon's power had been put to another purpose than the one he intended. To him, Leviathan must have seemed an aberration.
Could that be why Ultima made no attempt to lead me to him? The fear that this profaned fragment might corrupt his vessel somehow.
Perhaps. Or perhaps he simply deemed Leviathan surplus to requirements. Having concluded that his vessel might be made to serve his purposes without the full sum of his power.
His purposes? There's no escaping them. Even here. Hidden away in Mysidia, the blessing of the crystals proved nothing but a prison. A prison into which Wallius was born, and from which freedom is hard won. If the world doesn't change, if we don't change it, he'll end up suffering the same fate as every dominant who came before him.
Then we must change it.
That we must.
And we shall.
It is good to have her back.
What is it you want? Better than new. Done. Better than new. Done. Till next time, then.
News! I think I might have found a way to break Talor's curse.
Go on.
Well, after listening to the village elders and scouring every likely-looking tome in the library, I learned that not all Tombries are the same little green menaces we know and loathe. Apparently, a chosen few live to incredible ages and grow to many times the size of their counterparts. The folktales hold that it's the very eldest of these, the Tombury kings, who weave the curses, and that their magics bind their victims to them, that they might continue to feed on their pain.
So if we slay the one that cast the curse, the feeding will cease.
But that was my thinking, yes. Though I doubt it'll be easy. These kings are not just bigger, they're stronger too. And if the tales are true, their followers will defend them to the death. It is a perilous proposition, in short. but it may also be Talor's only hope. What say you?
I'll do it. Even if killing this king doesn't break the curse, Mysidia will be a safer place for its removal.
Thank you.
So then, where will I find it?
That, alas, I do not know. It must have woven the curse at the altar in Father's Fell, but as to where it is now...
Fanet! You were the one asking about Tonberries, right? Because there's a whole bloody army of them out on the cloak!
What? But why would they stray so far? And why now?
There's only one way to find out. I'll head up the mountain and see what's going on.
Right. Thank you. And please, be careful.
Can't claim I ever had high hopes for you lot, but there's no arguing with how things have turned out. Still not sure we're ready to throw open our gates to any old outsider who happens to come traipsing by. But I'm glad the tributary took a risk on you.
Bloody beastmen. They're always up to something or other.
Found her. They're almost at the gate. But they won't be coming any closer. That should buy Haven some time, at least.
Clive, are you all right?
Fine. We've taken care of the immediate threat.
Thank the tides. I was worried I was going to lose you both. Talor, he took a sudden turn for the worse just after you left.
What? Is he?
No, he's hanging on. I fear the Tonberry King may have begun the cursing ritual again. In earnest this time. And I can't imagine their being here as a coincidence. I think it might be happening on this very mountain.
If it is, it won't be for long. Get back to Talor. I'm going up.
My thanks. I shall pray for both of you.
More of them. Come on, then. I crave an audience with your king. What a fine hound. Another group. They don't look very regal. All right. Still no sign of the king. Could Fanad have been wrong? There's dozens of them. The king must be close. We'll have to take care of his followers first. Looks like that's the last of them. Out here, anyway. But beastmen do like dark places. I needed that. Well, I'll be damned. Has a crown. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your reign ends here. It's done. Which means the curse should be broken. Let's see how Talor's doing.
Clive! Is it done then?
It is. I was going to ask if there had been any change in Talor's condition, but judging by that smile on your face, I think I already know the answer.
You do? Talor! He's back!
Thank you, my lord. I can never repay you for everything you've done for me. I owe you my life.
I'm just glad the curse is lifted. There is one thing I'd like to know, though. If you don't mind my asking. What made you seek the Tombury's help in the first place?
Oh, that, well, you deserve to know. It was years ago now, back in my trading days. The Sons of Greek arrested me in Oriflamme, chained me up in a lightless cell with a great sword hung over my head, ready to fall if I didn't confess. Though they never said to what. I didn't, of course. So eventually they just let me go. And I never told a soul. Tried to forget it ever happened. But then you came along and the sight of your sword brought it all flooding back. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't hardly breathe, and I thought that if I gave my old chain to the Tomburys, maybe they could take all that pain away. All that anger. But it only made it worse.
Oriflamme has fallen. And the men who tortured you likely fell with it.
If only I'd known, I might have spared everyone a lot of trouble. I'd convinced myself that you were like them, that all outsiders were the same, but you're not. Far from it. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Clive, there's something I need to tell you. After we parted ways on the path to the cloak, I went straight back to Talor and explained to him what you were doing on his behalf. And just like that, his pain began to fade.
What do you mean? Just like that? The Tombury King would have still been alive. I had to contend with dozens of his minions before I found him.
Then perhaps one of them warned him of your coming and he broke off his ritual. Or perhaps knowing that an outsider was fighting for him was what lifted the weight from Talor's heart. I know from experience that many illnesses are not wholly physical, but of the spirit, at least in part.
Was there ever really a curse then? Or was Talor simply suffering from the pain of his memories? And the guilt of what he'd done? For all the difference it makes. I suppose we'll never know.
Maybe not. But this much I do know. It was your strength and your selflessness that healed his heart in the end.
I'll be sure to tell my healer friend when I get home.
You saved my life, son. I swear to you that. I'll never go near those Tomburys again.
What is it you want?
Till next time, then.
Mister, over here! Please, mister, you've got to help us. The village is in danger, and if someone doesn't do something... you should have seen it.
Stop. Take a deep breath and tell me everything. Starting with your name.
Sorry. My name's Eirik. When you went up to the Erevav with Miss Shula, well, I followed you.
You could have been killed.
Lady Shula told us you lot were great warriors, so I thought I'd be alright if I stayed close like. But then I lost track of you in the woods, and that's when I saw it.
Saw what?
A great, big, dripping, drooling monster. Spitting out great spouts of water it was, that were tearing up the ground and cutting down trees.
Spouts of water? I don't recall seeing anything like that in the forest.
Well, I did, and I don't ever want to see it again. You'll get rid of it, won't you?
All right. If this creature is as terrible as you claim, it could well pose a threat to the village. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, mister. It was over by the Swift one that I saw it. Maybe it's still there.
Then that's where I'll start my search. But this time, you're going to stay here. Understood?
I wouldn't go through those gates for 1,000 gil. Not with that thing out there. Good luck, though.
Is that the hunter?
It's you. Nasev's savior.
Are you all right? What happened?
I was tracking an ibex when a great spout of water struck me square in the back. Sent me flying all the way across the clearing.
Did you see what made it?
No. All I heard was a noise. An ear-splitting din.
Might this be the culprit? Leave him to us. You've caused enough trouble. Well, that wasn't too bad. Hardly a threat to the village, but you can't blame the boy for being scared.
You made that look a lot easier than it was.
Do you think that was the beast which attacked you?
That thing? Not a chance. Would have heard it coming a league away. And the blast of water that hit me was beyond anything an Archelon can manage.
Oh. A boy from the village sent me in search of a beast that could conjure such things, but...
That's it. That's the noise I heard. Sounded like it came from the ruins.
I'll go. You head back to Haven and see a healer.
You keep your wits about you, all right? You don't want to end up like me.
Let's go. Run like the wind. What do we have here? You deserve a rest. Found her. Something's been busy. Whatever this creature is, it's out for blood. But it's not having ours. Stay close, Torgal. Where are you? Fragment of Walius' rage. I should have known. Time to put you to bed too. Fingers crossed that's the last of them. Either way, I should let Eirik know the danger is past. For now, at least.
How many times do we have to tell you? You're not to go out into the woods alone.
But I wasn't alone. You're back.
So? Did you find the fiend that attacked me and young Eirik here?
I did. It won't be troubling you anymore.
Yes. I knew you'd get it.
Only because you warned me of its existence. Not that you should ever have learned of its existence, but all's well that ends well, I suppose.
What was it, anyway?
A manifestation of Leviathan's power. When we visited Wallius in the Surge, he was angry and afraid. The Icon summoned these creatures for his protection. Though why one would be wandering the ruins of Riversmeet, I don't know.
Maybe it was looking for his mum. That's where she died, isn't it? The Falls.
The Falls?
Aye. When they took her baby, she threw herself off the top. We go there once a year to pay our respects. The whole village.
Enegi is a part of its master's spirit, but Wallius wouldn't have been aware of what had happened to his mother, would he?
Well, either way, you did us a favor putting that thing to rest. Us and Wallius. Thank you.
Aye. Thanks, mister.
It was supposed to be me catching the beasts of the forest unawares, not the other way around. Just go.
When I grow up, I want to be a mighty warrior like you. I'm gonna train with the sword every day. Inside the village walls, like.
I'm so sorry for all the
This is all we have. Well, if you're sure you need it, very well.
Will you be back soon? You've still got to tell me everything else about the outside world.
What is it you want? Flawless.
It is good to have him back. But how do we know the lad won't summon another flood?
You wouldn't happen to have some time on your hands, would you, Clive? Only I was wondering if you might help me with something else.
Don't tell me. Another unruly dominant.
Not quite, but a dangerous foe nonetheless. It promises to be quite a hunt. Care to join me?
All right. Tell me about our quarry.
A fiendish, cold-blooded beast known as a Givra. Normally, we leave such animals well alone, and for good reason. But I have an even better reason to want its tongue.
Its tongue?
If you'll permit me, tributary, I can explain.
Certainly, Yamila.
It's been over a week since me sister gave birth to her first child, yet she still isn't back on her feet. We've tried everything to restore her spirits. Physics and nostrums, the laying on of hands and of leeches, but all to no avail. The healers tell me there's only one hope left. A broth as potent as its ingredients are perilous to procure.
It isn't only Yamila's sister who stands to benefit from this, by the way. There's her baby to think of, and Walias, too. She'd agreed to be his wet nurse, you see.
I'd be glad to help.
Thank you. Our hunters have no shortage of skill, but this task calls for more than that. And it won't be achieved through weight of numbers either. The Givra is as wary a foe as it is a deadly one. 2 hunters might catch it unawares, but any more than that, and it would pick up our scent a league away.
Then it is decided. The 2 of you will go, while Jill and I occupy ourselves here.
Perhaps we might help prepare the broth.
That would be most kind of you.
Come then, Clive. The River of Time flows fast, and so must we. There's a Givra that has claimed the ruins at the foot of the mountain as its hunting ground. But as I say, they are wary creatures. We'll need suitable bait to draw it out. The flesh of a forest ibex should suffice.
To the forest, then. Let's go. Faster!
There.
Enough of you, are there?
These will do nicely. Return to the sea, and to the clouds rise again.
We have our bait then. What next?
Next, we pay a visit to the Dark Gate to pick some local weed. It'll help disguise our scent.
I needed that. Come on. Run like the wind. Straight home now.
There should be a sprig or 2 of local weed growing somewhere around here. Look for the golden leaves.
Is this it?
Aye, that's the stuff. Crush the leaves between your fingertips and rub them on your clothes.
If you insist. You could have warned me about the smell.
Like corruption, isn't it? We'll have an honor guard of flies before long. But it'll stop the Givra from noticing us. Its nose will tell it we're nothing but a feast for worms.
Oh, I feel so much better.
We can wash it off afterwards. If there's one good thing about the Givra choosing the ruins for its hunting ground, it's that there's plenty of fresh water nearby.
Good girl. Where should we lay the bait?
Givras are creatures of habit. Look for some sign of its passing. It's sure to return to the same place sooner or later.
Marking its territory.
Something was. A curl, maybe.
Is that beast ringing? Tracks. But I assume they're too small to belong to a Givra.
You're right. They're barely big enough to belong to a Givra's breakfast.
This won't be easy. Seems like it isn't only Haven's blacksmith that has an appetite for these things.
Better already.
A fresh kill.
But not a Givras. The wounds are too clean, too small.
These look like a predator's tracks. You can clearly make out the claws.
And not just any claws. These belonged to a Givra. There's no mistaking them. We'll lay the bait here.
Let's hope our friend is hungry. Still no sign.
Patience, Clive. Hunting's not something you can rush.
Have you stalked these beasts before?
Once. Givras are fast, so the job called for a bearer. But even with my knack, it was a close-run thing.
Not many leaders would take such risks for their people.
Says the man who battled an icon to save a boy he barely knew. It is the way of the Moats of Water to use what gifts we've been given for the good of all. And I gather it's your way too.
It was Sitz, the man whose name I bear. He fought for his people and their future with every fibre of his being. I'm just following in his footsteps. In many ways, you remind me of him.
Me? You're confusing daring with desperation. Quiet. Something's coming. Our guest has finally arrived.
Shall we greet him?
It'd be rude not to.
Don't let it escape.
Let's try. Nice try. Too slow. You weren't exaggerating when you said they were dangerous.
They're forces of nature, all right. And with this one's passing, the river of life has calmed. O roaring torrent, son of storms, may your spirit run free in the open ocean. This flesh I claim, that your gifts might rain down upon us this day, and our river flow in spate once more. Well then, let's return to the village. We must get this tongue to Ymilla before it spoils.
Tributary, my lord. Did all proceed as planned?
It did. Here. One Geaver tongue, as promised.
Oh, thank you. I shall add it to the broth at once. By your leave, tributary.
If there is anything else that we can do to help, you need only ask.
No, no. You've already done more for my family than I can ever repay.
Just as you have, Clive, for my family. I only regret that I have nothing to offer you in return but my gratitude.
It's more than enough. Besides, I'm no less grateful to you.
For what?
For welcoming my friends and I into your midst. For showing us how your people live. For reminding me that the world we strive to create, where bearers can live alongside their fellow men in peace and comfort, is no mere fantasy.
I'd hardly call it comfort. Every day is a struggle. Though we do at least struggle together, it's true.
As must we all. I only ask that you remember the cost of using your gifts as a bearer. I know that you feel it's your duty to do whatever you can to help your people. But you have a child to think about now. And Wallis has lost enough.
I shall bear that in mind.
That's all I ask. Oh, and if there is anything else that we can do to help, well, you know.
Thank you. Truly.
My lord, might I have a moment of your time? I would beg of you a service.
Certainly. What is it?
It's a long story. But before we get to that, would I be right in thinking Lady Shula told you about the witch from the north?
Yes. She said that your ancestors found her here, and that it was she who taught them the spell to stop time. She was like Wallius, you know. A dominant. The Warden of Ice.
My great-grandmother suspected as much. She cared for the poor woman when the end was near. And it was she whose duty became to attend her grave. A duty that was passed down to me.
I see. And the service you would beg of me?
Well, until recently, the path to the grave had long been blocked by a fallen tree. But when our woodsmen finally found time to move it, we quickly realized it might have been better had they not. On trying to clear the rest of the path, you see, we discovered that a flock of bloodthirsty beasts had claimed the cliffs beyond. None of us was a match for them. But you, my lord, have proven your strength many times over. Would you drive them away for us?
Of course. I'll see the path is made safe.
Thank you, my lord. The grave is in a place called Witch Drop. To reach it, one must turn left at the Winged Wains, then follow the path around to the right, deep into the forest.
Why so far from Haven?
It was where she lived. When our ancestors first came to Mysidia, they found her there, in an old abandoned village, and it was her heartfelt wish to return there in death. So when she passed away, my great-grandmother had a stone erected for her on the cliffs overlooking the place she once called home.
How thoughtful. Well then, no time like the present. Left at the ships, then round to the right, you said.
Just so. Thank you once again, my lord. I will join you at the grave anon.
This should be the path to Witch Drop. Hungry, Torgal. Time to fight. Here's our welcoming party. Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave?
Better already.
This must be it.
My lord, thank you for making the path safe again.
Ise. Was that her name?
Yes. Hardly the most fitting tribute for a dominant, is it? A rough-hewn stone with naught but a given name engraved on it. But my ancestors had only been here a matter of weeks when she passed. Every day was a struggle to survive. They had neither the time nor the energy to devote to a more elaborate memorial. Yet they spared what they could to grant her wish, that even in death she might continue to watch over her home.
She lived down there then? In the ruins?
That's right. They were once the living quarters for those who served up in the temple. When the Northern Thanes sent her here to weave her spell, this was where she and her retinue stayed. There were priests, handmaidens, and a knight sworn to shield her from harm. Of course, they were all gone by the time my ancestors arrived, fled or dead in the Western Wars.
All except Ise, who remained till the end. Alone.
Indeed. At least, that is the story as it's been handed down in Haven. But there is an epilogue to the tale. One known only to Lady Shula and myself. Some years after Ise's passing, you see, my grandmother came here to tend the grave, and found a stranger kneeling before it. A knight, dressed head to toe in plate. She asked of him who he was and whence he had come, but received no answer. The only words he spoke were, "Tell me true, whose grave is this?" So she told him of how her people had met and cared for Ise, and how she had died. His only reaction was to stare up at the air of hours in silence. Then he left, never to be seen again.
You said he was wearing plate. Was it black and gold?
Do you know something of him?
When we went up to the Air of Hours to unravel the spell, we were set upon by a shade in the shape of a knight in full plate. It manifested in front of the Vair, and in its ether, I felt Shiva, the witch.
You think this may have been the same man my great-grandmother met? Ise's knight?
I don't know. Maybe. All I can say for sure is it was intent on protecting her creation.
Or perhaps her spirit? What remained of her ether, preserved in the Vair? Perhaps his spirit too became enraveled in her spell, frozen in an eternal vigil.
Till we ended it.
If the shade you fought was Ise's knight, then ending it was the greatest gift you could have given him. Now he can return to the sea, to be with his lady once more. And if his spirit should ever return here to visit her grave, I shall ask his name, that I might carve it in the stone next to hers.
That they might be together. Once and for all.
Thank you, my lord, for reuniting them.
Praise be to the heavens, for the child is safe.
Yes? A good tide to you.
What is this?
Muthos. You plumbed the very abyss, yet still you hunger. We are impressed.
Is that so? Not again.
Is ours, and now it is yours. Consider it a gift from us to you, a taste of things to come.
You still think I'm going to be your vessel? I'll take your gift then, Ultima. Just don't expect it back.
You hear me? I will never be yours.
you ever rail against our gifts. Remain all too eager to avail yourself of them. Perhaps you require more time to reflect.
him, I tell you! The Crown Prince of Sambor!
What do I owe the honour? So, will it be? Should last you a good while. That it? Fine. Yep. The sound of ringing still. Who knows? Crack the crystal. Not a very good one. But then... See, that sword of yours stays oiled.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I'll be thankful you got that much. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. And how were you gonna carry all that? You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Clive.
Is something the matter, Karen? You seem perturbed.
Do I now? How clever of you to notice. But yes, something's come to my attention, and I'll be damned if I know what to make of it.
Go on.
It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of crystal. Though, I don't remember seeing one that colour before.
Aye, well, that makes two of us. In all my long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour.
I see. And they can be used to cast magics.
That they can. Just like their brighter, shinier cousins. Difference is, they don't last as long. After a couple of goes lighting your pie, they crumble away to nothing. That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market with dodgy goods. And after asking the right people the right questions, and paying the right price, of course, I managed to get my hands on a sample.
I see why you're perturbed.
Hey, Hope. Do you feel that, Clive?
Yes.
All right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses and then our bellies. What did you two do now?
Please tell us you bought another London.
Stay calm, both of you. Who needs a lantern when you've got one of these? Oh, all that work for a single spark. Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise today.
That sounded close, Chief. Really close. Really, really close.
Now, lads, what am I always telling you? Good things come to those who run!
Wait for us, Chief!
I've never felt a tremor this far inland before.
Me neither. But then I'd never seen skies like these till a few moons ago, and it's been all change ever since. come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard of these dust crystals was after you lot came back from the Dominion and brought this bloody weather with you.
Do you think the two things are connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tail gone, the black market was running short of the good stuff. The Dominion's mines were the only source of new shards left in Storm after a certain evil outlaw decided to do away with the other mothers. And with the price of decent crystals going through the roof, traders turned to dealing in stuff they'd never have touched before.
The question is, who's selling these crystals and where are they? Wait. This color. They couldn't be from Origin, could they? No, that wouldn't make sense. I saw it form in the sky, and that was long after we returned from the Dominion. But if they didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals, then... does that mean...
that you missed one? Aye. That were my thinking, any road. Another mother crystal we didn't know about.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about this, we need to find it.
And quick, I'd say. On account of which, I'll take this shard over to Tomes for you. Get him to give it a once-over, case it rings any bells.
Right. Thank you.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's help with this, too.
Right again. I will. Let me go and find Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shelves. Joshua, we need to talk. Karen's caught wind of something that I don't think we can afford to ignore.
Aye, that is troubling. Not least because the Undying made no mention of these dusk crystals in any of their recent reports.
So they weren't aware of them either?
Perhaps. Or perhaps they merely deemed them unworthy of my attention. Wrongly, I might add, for I am inclined to share Lady Karen's misgivings.
Then we'd better take her advice and consult Harpocrates forthwith.
To the shelves, then. With our combined insight, I'm sure we'll discern something of use, be it no more than a place to start.
Let's hope so.
There you are. I've taken the liberty of telling these two everything I told you.
Thank you, Karen.
It's hard to believe such a lusterless shard could conjure much of anything. And you truly think this came from a mother crystal? One we never knew existed?
Every other shard in the Twins did. Why should these dusk crystals be any different? Dim though they may be.
We know they first appeared on the black market shortly after Ultima Car's primogenesis, darkening the skies. So might the two be connected? Could the spell have created a new mother crystal, perhaps? A replacement for the ones we destroyed?
What do you think, Harpocrates?
I think there may well be a connection. Yet, if we are to believe that the original mother crystals were of Ultima's making, does it seem likely that he would have need of anything so palpably inferior? No. I hazard that it was not Ultima who created these crystals, but humanity. More specifically, our fallen forebears, whose wonders litter the land even now. Legend holds that the Fallen challenged the gods in order to win their power, and came tantalizingly close to doing so, it seems only reasonable that they should wish to learn the secrets of the crystals which the gods bestowed upon them.
So they could make their own.
Precisely. You may recall that the tale of the sins of Zemeckis begins with the Colloquy of the Sages, a council wherein humanity sought to uncover the last secrets of the gods before waging their war to learn what little remained. It is perfectly possible that an understanding of how to craft crystals was among their many achievements.
Among their many achievements, prior to their fall.
Indeed. The same enlightened souls forged great and terrible weapons called the Iconoclasts, from which icons derived their name, and turned them against each other in the Magitech War. A pointless conflict which served only to make its victors more confident of their right to supplant the gods on high. And when at last they ventured to do so, the resultant imbalance in the ether is said to have been so great that the skies themselves turned black and began to boil. The first recorded Arcade sky, I suspect. Which brings us back to the matter at hand. It is my belief that these shards are the product of a long-slumbering Magitech mother crystal, stirred to life by a similar etheric upheaval to the one which accompanied its creator's fall.
Meaning the land is being bled of ether as we speak, despite all our efforts to the contrary.
Clive, do you remember what Shula told us? That her ancestors had learned of a means to make mother crystals, and that they discovered it in an ancient ruin. Who else but the Fallen could have been responsible?
There's only one way to know for sure. We track down whoever's selling them and find their source. Karen, where did you buy this one?
Down in Port Isolde when I was scratching around for supplies. Since the Imperials buggered off and took the tariffs with them, you can find all sorts of interesting stuff on the docks. Go and have a chat with the mercenaries guarding the gates. Your uncle's got some good lads there. You know when to keep a watchful eye and when to turn a blind one. Oh, and take the crystal with you. Might be your key to the underworld.
Thank you. I will.
Shall we then, brother?
I'm coming too. If there is another mother crystal out there and it's anything like the others, you'll need all the help you can get.
I was hoping you'd say that. One more time then. Together.
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
How may I help you today, Clive?
Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive, anything catch your eye? Seen enough?
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That would mean the crystals...
massive.
Samuel, slow down! Not bloody likely!
Fuck me. They're fast on their feet. What's going on here, I wonder?
What indeed? Let's ask.